Hey, hello everybody at Route 1 Running in Limerick, my fellow Limerick people. My name is Patrick Murphy, and Dave Stack has asked me to maybe put a few words together for you. Why has he asked me? Well, I'll let him introduce me. As I said, my name is Patrick Murphy. I'm originally from Belgium, but I've been living in Corbally now for a good while, actually 20 years now. I am actually, you saw the t shirt, I thought it was funny. It's my fourth Great Limerick Run Marathon in a row. I'm not superhuman. I do, however, know why I'm running. And I think when Dave asked me, the first thing that came to mind is like, why do you run? Just a bit of background. In 2008, I was working for a company called Extravision, and we were looking after Barrettstown. Barrettstown is a kind of holiday camp for children with serious illnesses. So I wanted to do something for them, and I was going to run Dublin Marathon in 2008 in October. In February, my first run was 3/4 miles. Walk was 0.75 miles. That was in February 2008. 8 months later, I finished the Dublin Marathon, I think in something like 4 hours and 8 minutes. It was 8 months of consistent training. That's what took me to run my first marathon. After that, I ran one or two marathons a year in 8, 10. I didn't do anything in 9, only half marathons. In 2008, one, I think one or two then in 10, 11, and 12. That got me to 6 marathons, something like that. Because then in 2013, I decided to take it up a notch because I was enjoying it. And there's another thing about running: you have to enjoy it. You have to find a way for you to actually physically and mentally enjoy running. I think that's very important. And then ran 4 marathons in 2013, and then came the idea of me of maybe doing something for charity. So this year, after doing 7 in marathons in 2014, this year I'm running 12 marathons in 12 months for Gorta Self Help Africa. I have a sneaky thing. I put 16 marathons because planning is another thing you need to do when you start racing. Because without plans, you get into procrastination. So I planned 16 marathons because 16 marathons to me means like if I get injured, there's always marathons spare to finish the 12. Saying that, if I stay relatively injury free, then I'd probably finish off the 16, which would bring me to 33 marathons in total by the end of this year. Imagine that's like 33 marathons since 2008. That sounds a lot. And then if I can do 17 marathons next year, it'll get me to 50, with the ultimate goal being to run over 100 marathons. And then we'll see where we go. Another plan I have for next year is to run the first back-to-back marathon. That's one on a Saturday, one on a Sunday. And then my first ultra marathon, which is from 50 kilometers or more. Why? That is the big question. Why do you run? If you have a vision or a mission, or like you know in your head why you run, then it will be easier on rainy days, on days where there's snow, on days when you get up at 5:30 in the morning because it's the only time you can, and go for your run then. So I think to know why am I doing this? Is it to be able to run in the back garden with the kids for an hour? Is it because of energy? Is it because of all the things that I get from it, such as peace of mind? I do my thinking for my own business, which I run while I'm running. It gives me real quiet relaxation. It gives me energy. If I go and run at 5:30 in the morning, it gives me 20% more productivity during the day. And that's something that was measured by other people before. It does give you more productivity if you go first thing in the morning. Saying that, if I'm tired in the evening, I go for a run at 5 o'clock. I feel energized again after that. So that's another reason it gives me that. I need energy to run my own business, and therefore I exercise. And running is the thing I enjoy the most, so I go running. So few pieces of advice from someone who's ran, I did now 21 marathons. Whether it's a 5k, a 10k, marathon, or whatever it is, in the beginning, when you're starting to run, when you're first starting off, listen to what other people say to you. Listen to people who have done it before. That was the best thing I did, was to go ask people who had run, what's your advice to me? And these people will give you the best possible advice they can, whether it's from stretching beforehand or afterwards, whether it is like, when to last drink before a race, whether it is like, what should you eat before, the day after a race, when should I stop training, what is tapering and how do I taper before a race. Ask the people who know and who've done it before, because they're the ones to tell you. After a while, once you've done your 12, 10, 15 races, you will start to get to know your own body, and then you can go and do your own thing. So like for instance, I don't taper anymore, but like if I say that to beginners, like people would shoot me, because tapering is something I just don't run the last 2 days before a marathon, but I train up to 3 days beforehand because I love running too much, and my body can take it. So that's kind of what I wanted to come from. What else did I have? In the beginning though, tapering is very important. Never do more than 10% increase in your weekly schedules if you're starting off. Training group if you can, because it's a lot more fun unless you're a lone runner like myself. Stretch before and after. Hydration is extremely important. I'm now at a stage where I can run a half marathon without drinking, although that's not recommended, especially not in hot weather. It's just like, again, my body, I know how it functions. So hydration during a race and all that, especially now in the summer, really, really important. And also afterwards, hydrate properly. Beer or alcohol is not a good hydration. Water is the best hydration, and if you need to make drink something else, have an electrolyte drink, and some of them taste quite nice. It's also about the food you take in before and after, but again, there's other people that probably can talk about that. Enjoy it. Another thing is, when you're in a race, don't think I've 1 kilometer gone and I need to do 9 more. My biggest advice was, because running is marathons is 26 miles or 42 kilometers, is to always run the mile you're in, or always run the kilometer you're in. Do not think what's gone, do not think what's ahead. Enjoy the moment and run the mile you're in. I had a mental block with mile 20 when I was running marathons. I'd get up to mile 20 and then my system would break down. So the easiest way for me was to break that down. It took me a while to get this, but my marathons now are 7 3s, 2 2s and a 1. That's 7 sections of 3 mile, because in marathons often at 3 miles there is a water station. So if I do 7 3s, then there's 2 2-mile sections and a 1-mile section. When I've done this, when I've done 12 miles, when 12 miles have gone, I've 4/7 of those sections done. The other people still have 14 miles to go. 12 done, 14 to go, or 4 out of 7 done. It makes a difference. I also then come at mile 21 at the end of my 7 sections. So the 20 mile is gone, and I've only 2 short sections to go. So break it up for yourself, but always run the mile you're in. I think that's another piece of advice. I think Dave's idea is that you can ask me any questions. Feel free to. If I know, I'll definitely answer. Have a fantastic time. Enjoy the training. Enjoy the fantastic weather we're having. And most of all, really, really, really enjoy the Great Limerick Run. Thanks a million. Take care. Bye.